Hey guys, welcome back to Bantercast. It's been a while since I've probably been like 4 or 5 months since last time I streamed or so on. But yeah, we're back. I'm here with Zodi. You can say hi.
Hello. Glad to
Yeah,
be back.
it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been like, what, 4 or 5 months at this
Mm-hmm.
point? Man.
I've been busy. Zodi's been busy, mainly because I just finished nursing school, so shit sucked. But I've been playing DFFOO on the side still and whatnot. So yeah, we still got like a lot of characters in between from like last time I streamed till now. I think last time we were watching reactions to like Setter trailer and Transcendence just ended. I just took a little peek at the old notes from back then. Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was definitely, like you said, around the time that Transcendence ended, or right before Astos.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, I think last time I was like with SD and 40, we were talking about Pokemon and whatnot. And, yeah, so today's gonna probably just be mainly DFFOO. And, next week, I'm gonna have another special guest with us. And maybe 40 might be able to join us, who knows, but it might be another DFFOO episode, so he probably might not be interested, but if he is, I'll like extend an invite to him, see if he wants to join the conversation on it. But yeah, I mean, since then I've gone into playing Mega Man Battle Network Collection. That's been fun. It's a lot of nostalgia right there. Have you gone that Zodi?
Oh, Battle Network? Not yet. I wish those games were a part of my childhood. I know a lot on the server, including like Richie, are very passionate about it. I've always wanted to try them out. My Mega Man of choice back in the day was X. Nothing against Battle Network,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm definitely gonna pick that one up. I heard it's really hard to find physically at the moment.
Oh yeah,
It's
probably.
very low print, which is
Yeah, that
unfortunate.
seems to be the common thing with like digital.
Yeah, no, a lot of these, especially the really niche titles anymore, if you don't, reserve them in advance, they're impossible to find on the secondary market unless you pay an arm and a leg, which is unfortunate. Like you said, digital. A lot of people are turning towards digital.
Okay,
And as much as I'm old-fashioned about liking cartridges, I do realize it's more convenient for a lot of folks than running out to a store waiting for a package to arrive with a game in it.
let's see, how much is it on Amazon if I would buy one? If Amazon stops being a button, stops being super low res version.
Let me see if I can pull it up on my end. If they even have it available. Ooh, yeah, no, it's sold out. I see people are selling it for $68.75. I really am kicking myself for not reserving that.
PlayStation 4, you can buy it for $59.99. $68.75. I mean, that's not too bad.
Oh yeah, that's true. The PS4 version is readily available. It's just the Switch one. So if I want to go the physical route, I'll get it on PS4. It's like definitely can't get it for Switch, sadly. That was the platform of choice I wanted to go with, but
Yeah, I got it on Switch. It's a fun game. It's one of those games where if you start like the very first one, you see some of the more like broken old standard like stuff that people used to do, and then as you go through the games, it's like going through like cycles of patches and whatnot, where like some of the more OP strats of the game were kind of phased out, but then some other kind of broken stuff gets included, more quality of life stuff. And then it keeps on escalating until Battle Network 6, where the game becomes pretty ridiculously smooth. And so on.
I would
Uh,
imagine it has an overarching plot like the other Mega Man titles.
yeah, I mean each story is kind of like on standalone. Some characters like carry on over, but story itself doesn't really kind of like overlap too much. It's not like one continuation story, like to be continued.
Ah, gotcha. What did they do for the collection when it came to the games that had multiple versions? Because I remember that
You
being
have
a thing
access
back
to
in the
both
day.
versions.
Nice.
So you can, so for like 3 and onwards, you had blue and white. You can start either blue or white. Same thing with kind of Pokemon. Some versions have like exclusive stuff to it. Like some of the fights are different because they have different bosses. You have access to different like chips and whatnot, so that you have a different playstyle. Kind of like how like in Pokemon you have some exclusive Pokemon and so on. Playstyle wise, it's about the same. Certain games, I don't know, from like 5 was kind of iffy with in terms of like balancing. One version was like much better than the other,
Hmm.
or seemed like it, and like whatnot. But I don't know. It's good that they added like a lot of the Japanese exclusive stuff into it, so it
Oh,
feels
they did
more of a
that too.
full game.
Oh no, that's a huge plus, especially when generally when they do these kind of packages, they don't always update or give the Japanese version. So it's nice that
Yeah,
to see that Capcom did that.
yes, like in Pokemon included like if they revisited I don't know Ruby, if they redid Ruby and Sapphire from the ground up again and included like every single like um Pokemon event that were like Japan exclusive, like legendary Pokemon like Mewtwo, Mew, Deoxys, so on, Jirachi, and all that stuff, as like exclusive, like all those included into the game. Which, for most part, most of the new games just like included in like timed events. But I just wish that they included it like as part of the full game, so in case the game ever does not become as popular anymore, people can still go into those games and collect all the Pokemon.
Yeah, no, I'm. That's one thing that's always irked me about that, especially like you said with when it comes to mythicals, just how they distributed them
Mm-hmm.
in the past. I have one of those. Speaking of which, that just came to my mind. I have like the Jirachi bonus disc that a lot of people talk about. I got way back in the day before everyone wanted to start collecting Pokemon, but even then, a lot of people don't have access to that, especially for the old titles.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I just I'm gonna start ranting about Pokemon. I don't want to do that. But I just wish they declassify mythicals after their generations, are come and gone. Because, like you said, in the future, if the series becomes unpopular, I know a lot of people are gonna scoff at that. But if that ever happened, like you said, you still have access to them.
Yeah. So for what
It's
they
not
did
like
for like Mega Man, it was like they gave you straight up like a system where like you just straight up add whatever any of the region exclusive chips that you wanted. Like some of them, like you know who Base is, right? Or
yes,
Forte. So there's some
yeah,
base exclusive chips where, or like some of the versions onward, like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They had like their final bosses become like usable versions of like Giga chips, were like the strongest versions of the chips, and they were Japan exclusive or event exclusive. Like you needed one of those like weird e-reader things, like that little attachment in the Game Boy, where you had to slide like scan cards,
yes,
and you
yeah.
only
Even
got
the
these
old
cards from these like events. Like you had to be in person to collect them. It's like promo cards in like Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic or stuff like that.
I didn't even know the Battle Network games had e-reader cards, which is interesting.
Yeah, there's a whole entire like long system. It's like similar to like it's basically the equivalent of it because that's the best way to put it. Because they had this like long list of like basically like custom mods for the game where like there's some pros and cons to like adding certain like these features to the game, because straight up, like, some of them were like, you can become base and Mega Man they split into each other, become a base cross, and Mega Man 5 and 6. And that was like a Japanese exclusive, and from anyone from the US or any other like outside region, they saw that as, man, I want that. And they had to like use some bootleg emulator and try to like code that in, which some people were able to, but it was just a headache trying to figure that out. And so I'm glad they just like straight up added all these like those fun features in.
No, that's cool. That's like kind of like what Nintendo did before they got rid of. Well, I know it's on their Virtual Console service too, but they did it back for the Wii U release of Mario 3. It had e-reader exclusive levels, and the advanced version of it, and they patched that into the digital release, and it's also on the it's on the Switch now. You can play those too. But before, nobody could access those, like you said, outside of Japan and be able to play that. And now people have that opportunity and don't have to like either modify or hunt down those cards, or like you said, emulate and find a way to insert it in. So it's nice to see developers actually declassify a lot of stuff, or not declassify, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Make stuff more accessible from like the time when we were younger,
making them more modernized.
Exactly. Wow, as I'm talking to you right now, I found an old coupon for an e-reader, no joke, just lying around. I could take a picture of this. But yeah, no, it's nice that you don't need to hunt one of those down anymore.
Yeah. Anyway, what other games have you been playing on the side?
I've dabbled around a bit with that Sonic Forces game. I know Shadow would be upset if he hears that I still haven't beaten it yet, but no, I like that one a lot. I played that. I also started a bit of Octopath Traveler 2. I think it's great. I still gotta get a little further in it. I've barely scratched the surface on that one. What's another title that comes to my mind? I've been playing those Pokemon events that come out. Despite my sort of lukewarm feelings when it comes to that game, but I've done all those events because when they function properly, I find them to be a little fun. So I've gotten all the special like the Pikachu and the Charizard and all that for those raids, and the latest one they did, which was Inteleon. So I've done that. Splatoon,
still play Pokemon Go?
I haven't played Pokemon Go in a hot second. Did they have a special event for that going on?
The only news I heard from that was that they're turning off what's it called? The remote raiding.
Oh, that was a good feature they added. Because sometimes, some of those raids could be in like parks, especially during like, say it's like in a colder region. I live in a colder region, and they wouldn't be open for the winter, but they'd still have gyms, and there'd be raids that would populate in there, and you could access it through the remote raid. But them shutting it off, that's dumb. I don't know why they want to do that. I mean,
they said COVID's ending, so we can turn that off now.
It's a nice quality of life.
Yeah.
That puts a sour taste in my mouth. Yeah, I haven't played it for a hot second. I was gonna just taking a little break from it, but no, that's.
I heard that in Pokemon Scarlet Violet, they're slowly going to add all the Arceus like exclusive region Pokemon into the game. Either from my Pokemon Home, or they're gonna release them in events. Which is that's cool. Zodi? Yeah, shit, I think Zodi died.
So that... I know you said also you were busy with nursing school, so I don't know how much time you had to...
Oh, wait, did you just... Oh, wait, okay, you just went quiet all of a sudden.
Oh, my mic must have cut out. I've had a couple issues with this headset I'm using. I gotta get a new one.
Okay.
So I apologize.
On my end, you just like went completely silent, and then you just start talking again.
Oh boy, I wonder how long I was,
It was like for
quiet
like
for.
20, like for 10 seconds. It wasn't that long. So yeah, you were
Oof.
saying like something about, oh yeah. So like have they started releasing more of like the, besides like Zoroark and like in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet?
No, there hasn't been any. I don't know why. I know it's a lot of technical issues. I don't know why. All they did was Hisuian Zoroark. You would have thought that we would have got all the new evolutions and that from Arceus, but they still don't want to add them. And the whole Pokemon Bank fiasco, that's And then there was issues with people having their data deleted for nobody knows how or why. There's only speculations to do with Go, but I've heard that might be more of a rumor than an actual truth. But yeah, no, that's been a whole mess and a half with that game, which is unfortunate to see. I'm hoping they'll fix all the issues that Scarlet and Violet have. I don't know. I don't know at this point. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I don't like it or whatever. It's just I don't know. I'm playing it, so obviously I like something about it, but it's been really weird because they were supposed to have Pokemon Bank out a couple months ago, or at least a month ago, and they've had to delay it because of technical issues. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's really strange, but like you said, the only one they added so far was the Hisuian Zoroark, which is cool. He's really shaking up the meta, apparently. I mean, he's not like super OP because
yeah,
I would say those Paradox Mons are oof.
Yeah, there's two new ones. I mean, I don't know. Only the one I've been hearing the most is Walking Awake is a monstrosity.
Oh, I hate that thing's I hate that thing's design. I mean, it's kind of growing on me now, but oof, is it ugly? And it sort of messes with the lore of
that, and competitive-wise, it is ridiculous in terms of how
no.
good its exclusive move is, and its typing, its ability, its move pool, and overall stats is just good.
Yeah, no, it's niche. Dragon Water
is very
in my
good.
opinion, yes, no, I would have said like years ago before even the Fairy type was introduced, I always thought it was one of the strongest combinations in the series, and I still stand by that.
It's good
because it only
good defensively.
It only has two weaknesses.
Yep. You get it's Dragon Grass. Wait, not is it Grass?
No, it's just Dragon and Fairy.
Dragon Fairy.
Because before it was just Dragon type, and that's why I used to think it was really powerful. Like, if I did, like, an Ubers-based team, I would always use Palkia, just because of that type coverage, and he had a similar move pool, but no, Walking Wake, no pun intended, blows him out of the water when it comes to its just raw strength and its ability, and then how its signature move functions. The fact that it doesn't get weakened by sunlight, but it gets strengthened by sunlight, that is a busted water.
And or it gets faster, or if its abilities go up because of its ability in the sun or rain.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's just, it's. I understand Game Freak wants to really put a lot. I mean, they're not even legends. I know they don't even count them as legendaries.
No,
but
I mean, I don't know. Suicune's been like one of those fan favorite Pokemon, so. Glad it's up there and didn't disappoint. Iron Leaves, however, is like it's not as good. Its typing is okay. Its signature ability is also just okay. Only thing it has going for it is that it could Dynamax into something else, but not the best.
No, like. Yeah, compared to, like you said, Walking Wake, it's no contest. I could see like more niche applications once we get more mons that can assist, because Sun Assist is a lot easier to do than Electric Terrain's assisting at the moment, unless we get Tapacoco, which I hope we don't. I want one generation where that thing sits on the bench.
More than likely, all the legendaries are going to come in eventually if Pokemon comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if they really wanted to make the fans happy, they could add in all the monsters, but I don't think they're
if they really want to make
Not
everyone happy, they would include every single feature in the games from past games into one. Mega Evolution, Z moves, Dynamax, Gigantamax.
Yeah, no, agree. Completely agree there. I mean, heck, if they really wanted to win people over, they'd fix a lot of these mons that they nerfed for no reason, their movesets, and make them more competitively viable.
I don't know, they
'Cause I
did that
think
somewhat
stripping-
in this one where they removed move pools from certain Pokemon.
Yeah,
make
no,
them
they made some
less
of them
fun.
with. Yeah, no, they really hurt. Like the fact that Qianpao exists and is competitively usable just made my boy Weavile just garbage. Like, why are you gonna run him when you have this Pokemon that is a
Kind of
better
makes
move
sense because
pool than
it's
him?
legendary and has better stat
Yeah,
pools.
no, I just don't know why it's so stupidly fast. I understand they wanted to make the thing a glass cannon, but it's you just look at it and you're like, okay, you could have made it a better Weavile, but why does it have to be so quick in comparison?
Yeah.
I don't know. Pokemon is in an interesting spot.
Yeah.
Like I said, I could ramble forever about Pokemon, but it's in a really weird spot when it comes to its competitive scene, and I'm just hoping they're able to fix fix it in the future, either updates for Scarlet and Violet or the nice. I know a lot of people would say this, but like Gen 10. Once Gen 10 rolls around, hopefully they get their act together. Because I like it. Some of it's still fun, but
Get into some of the DFFOO topics.
no, absolutely. Like I said earlier, I could ramble about Pokemon forever. I don't want to do that. So I am definitely ready for those DFFOO content.
Yeah, go ahead and start on the first one that we have here.
All right. So we were asking about, characters. What characters sort of stuck out since last time we spoke? Astos, definitely.
Yeah, so let me just pull up a list of the last couple not Pokemon characters.
Might as well consider them Pokemon since there's a load of them.
Yeah, I mean, Astos stands out. Arnea stands out for me. Rice.
No, Aranea is good. Yes.
And a Crow.
I knew the most. And a Crow, yes. No, and a Crow, her BT effect is dumb.
Furry Man.
Dumb in a good way. Yeah, he's another one. You have a.
I ended up not getting his
BT. Yes, I ended up going for Cater. So that was my character of that half of the month. But yeah, you have him built, so you probably know a lot about him.
Yep, and then Alka-Seltzer.
Oh yeah, no, he's good too.
But yeah.
Weiss as well. I would mention Weiss.
Yeah. Oh, I said him.
Weiss. Oh yeah, you did. Duh.
Yeah.
And then Locke. But Locke's always had a good BT effect. I think I've said that on a past Bantercast that he's got one of the strongest BT effects in the game, and I still stick by that.
I mean, yeah, if you had to limit it to I don't know, two that stand out between all the characters, who would you name? Go ahead.
Oh, from this last couple cycles?
Yeah, up to Setzer.
I would say, since I've used them a lot, Aranea and Astos.
Alright. For me, I would say Weiss and Kilgar.
I also agree with those as solid choices.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about each individual one. I mean, for me, Weiss is good just because of his... For one, he does similar to Core's special gimmick, which is adding follow-ups to everyone's attacks. He does it every single ability. Only thing that you need to keep track of is his EX buff. The only downside is that it lasts for 6 turns, and once you get it going, then having it up all the time is not a problem. Also, he has his BT effect, which just allows you to just avoid debuffs and adds extra just DPS on top of everything by giving you that your max brave is at his extra damage kind of stick. So yeah, he's good. What about Astos,
Yeah, no.
Zodi?
Oh, Astos. He's got that stupid overhead buff that, depending on how much brave damage you do, zeros until you hit like his LD or his EX. You know, you have to use one of those moves to build up a brave amount. It's good to pair
don't
with
think his
a
EX
partner
does that. Doesn't
Oh,
have
you're
any
right.
brave
It's not
hits.
his EX. You're right, LD. I meant LT. You're
LD,
right. His
BT,
EX does not
FR.
have any brave. Yes, correct. I slipped there. That was a slip. Like you said, no, you do not want to pop his EX. His EX is his best skill. You don't want to waste it like that. But yeah, no. Depending on how high the brave bank, like kind of think of Charlotta, but on crack. That's my best description of him.
Is he stronger than Tifa?
Yeah, yes. When he's set up properly, yes. He's like stupidly. He can hit damage cap.
Is he the top
on each
DPS
move.
right now?
Anymore? I'd have to compare him to some of the other ones because he does have some downsides, which of course every character has a downside, but his downsides do hold him back on some stages, especially if he can't deal a lot of brave damage to the enemy. There are workarounds, Quina and Setzer, but he I'd say he's probably the best, but if you're looking for a more plug-and-play unit, I'll get to her later. I think Arnea or a couple of the other ones are a little easier to use in most stages. But if you have Astos and you can set them up, you're gonna win. You're gonna win almost, like I'd say, 95% of the time.
Yeah.
But to compare it to Tifa at the moment, yes, he blows a lot of the units out of water. I'm not saying Tifa's not still a good single target.
She's been power crept.
You know, her reign of terror. No, she's been power crept.
Yeah. Main thing with Astos is that you need to set up. You want to maximize as much brave overflow as possible on your team because that's what his overhead buff is based on. Anything like summoning, going into your summon can make that overhead buff even higher. Like you're gonna see it on average. Like if he's fully built, it's gonna be like 70k, 80k maybe. If you go into summon, it's gonna be like 110k, 120k, and if your BT buff is up, then it's gonna be dishing out like 8 million without FR being up with the skill 1 or his EX. So yeah, that's high. And I don't know if your FR is up and his FR damage percentage is max, you're going to be seeing damage numbers like 90 million in one hit. So yeah, really, really high.
They definitely overtuned him a little too much, especially for a lot of the units that came out. Even later units like What's-Her-Face, who's also a strong unit, but I wouldn't put her in the top, but she pairs well with him. Deuce is a good partner for him. Even Sieren's a good partner for him. Just for how they're able to help him, raise his overflow, raise his max brave.
Yeah.
Get him to that point even easier than some of the supports we had even a couple months ago.
Kind of the only downside is his BT only lasts for 6 turns, so you don't have much breathing room in terms of setup. You don't really have much breathing room in terms of, hey, if I pop BT and press my FR Echo, do I want to go immediately into BT to do a lot of extra damage, or do I want to build the FR even more and kind of delay my BT and click BT later, like BT plus later, so then I can go into it a turn later and hopefully nothing happens to him during that time. That's kind of like the kind of thought process you're going to have to be going through in terms of Astos to kind of min-max his damage.
Also, you want to make sure you don't pop I think it's his BT is the one that leaves him with no break right before an enemy's turn, because if they break him,
you lose like half.
Yes, and that will ruin your setup. So that's huge. That's his Achilles heel. I'm surprised that the developers aren't doing when the enemy hits a certain point on their FR gauge, they instant break you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, most of the FRS attacks seem to be either doing a lot of damage, insta-kill you still, or just either hamper or like add annoying effects. So I mean, kind of glad that lately they haven't been like given like FR attacks that just straight up say, hey, you can't kill the bosses. I mean, some of them do still, but
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I hated that too.
Because
Because that's bad game design when you do that.
Yeah.
I-
But who else did you say after Astos? Or Nea?
Aranea.
So
without
you
a shadow of
got
a doubt.
her full kit as well, right?
Yes, I had her FR from when she came out because when I seen
Yeah, same.
HP damage cap up after break, I'm like, that sounds good. But her in practice before BT, a little hard to use. She was good. She had some good niches. When I say she was good at enabling the team. I'm not going to say, oh, her kit was good, because no, her kit was rather bad back then. But now it's the difference between night and day. She is insanely powerful.
She has a lot of extra free
A
turns.
truck. Yes. She gets so many, extra free turns. She
hits ridiculously hard.
Yes, and she's got she launches.
She has delay. She has rebreak. A lot of things going for her now. She has a lot of extra damage built in with her BT.
Agreed. She just power crept pretty much one of Lightning's main niches right when Lightning came out. I was like, oh, Lightning looks good. Then you see RNA, you're like, oof, ouch. Sorry, Lightning fans. Ooh.
She's physical Sid range basically with her BT now, but without like she hits harder than Sid range and has more free, less kind of like complicated like without the turn swapping shenanigans that Sid range has.
Yes. I've seen people say that, okay, Sid is obviously power crept at this point, but I've seen people say that his kit wasn't good. It's like, have you guys looked at Sid Rain's kit for a second and seen all the garbage he did? Like, he was good. He was really good. But no, just Aranea, like you said, she's like Sid Rain's that delays.
Yeah, because
minus all the cleansing and that.
Because with Sid Rains, they balance his his main kit around the fact that he's going to be launching every single time, and so they kind of split his HP dumps with his launches, and the fact that his main skills were kind of lacking in potency versus while he's in the air where he does most of his damage in, versus Aranea, she just hits hard regardless if she's breaking, but she's doing that all the time now. So, because of that, you have, 8 dumps on skill 1, plus the follow-up, which is, let me look it up.
It's 7 dumps, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, if it is, then yeah, that's a lot of dumps. So, she's one of the big DPS units that carry the Shinryu crest, the weekly Shinryu crest that we'll go into a little bit. I'm not sure if we talked about it last time, but I don't think so.
Oh, those? No, yeah, I don't think that was out back then. And if it was, if we mentioned it, I forgot.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, she does carry my weekly ones. You're not wrong.
Yeah, that's another thing we can go into right now. Who's been, we forgot to talk about Kyoko, but, actually we could talk that. We're kind of gonna blend it right now, but, who's been carrying, your teams when it comes to DPS for those weekly Shinryu quests on the hardest difficulty for, certain colors that people might be troubling with?
Okay, so blue, I have been using Aranea, a mixture of either Aranea, Core, and Weiss, and there's been another one I used, and I can't remember to save my life. Sometimes I had to use, what's her name to charge? Cryo? But that's rare circumstances where I had to race the boss's FR gauge. I don't recommend using Cryo as a charger, but she was the only viable blue charger I had. When I use, let me look at my different crystal colors because I forget what crystal colors every character is.
For me, it was Aranea and Cloud for blue. Cloud and Aranea just because our Cloud has force passive 50, but we can talk about why 50 is so important later. But he can his rework allows him to basically his LD's in like instant turn away, so you can delay, and his paralysis is AoE now, so that sets up really well now.
Yeah, no, Cloud has a lot of good utility.
Black is one of the first ones that people are probably going to start out with, because Black has Quena, you have Astos, which, by the way, you're going to get these like weekly quests sometime after Astos comes out, so right around after Transcendence ends, you should be seeing this like pop up, or around after Jill comes out, sometime around there. But yes, Black is a strong one to start out with, because you have strong characters like Zac for tank, you have Quina, you have Noctis for turn swapping shenanigans, you have Astos for all your DPS. The only thing you don't have is someone to like reliably charge your FR, which some of the weekly ones starting fights out at max difficulty will get annoying, and you might have to reset or re-roll the bosses sometimes if you don't get lucky to something else, like to something easier like Iris's boss.
Yeah, no, that's true. I've had to do a couple resets because some of them it's just like I don't have the right units to use, at least in all these crystal colors.
Leo's boss.
Yes, I can't do it because I don't have Leo. I don't have Questas.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, that one. Yeah, okay. So once you get to Leo's fight, everyone's gonna be like, oh, he's not that bad. It's like, oh no, oh, he's not that bad, but because he has 180, like 200 million HP. But then
what's their face? I think lightning, or not lightning.
Yeah, someone said it's possible to do with like lightning with
never again, and that took me like a while to get through.
Yeah.
To get it right, no, I couldn't. I can't replicate that run because I failed at like 10% multiple times.
Yes, like everyone.
It was super disheartening.
It's like, oh, you just need to delay him 3 times. But, like, yeah, but he eats up your FR turns.
Too sometimes. So, like on the
red one,
the red crystal team, I use Rex a lot of times. Rex, Aerith, and somebody else. I can fit in the slot either what's her face, Beatrix
works well.
Or
yes.
Kurasame.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my other teams.
One of the strongest units for red is actually.
But like you said,
Kilgar.
that Leo Quest, oh hell no. No. Screw that piece of shit.
Yeah. Kilgar is actually really, really strong for red. For one reason, he can solo it himself.
Oh, nice.
Because, okay, for anyone who doesn't know what Kilgar does, I mean, it's not surprising if you don't know because he came out recently. He's an evasion tank. He's similar to Rubicante, except he evades. He does a preemptive attack. If you have his BT, he does it twice. He has 100% evasion. He has built-in provoke into his buffs. He's really strong in that his FR makes it so that his action delay is slowed down so that the bosses can become greedy. And his FR is just really strong in the fact that anytime that he does a preemptive attack, it increases it by 5%, which may not sound a lot, but then you realize that because both bosses are going like or acting, and you have the BT up, that's 10% for each boss, so that equals 20%. Plus, every time you evade, it's another 40%, so that's 80%, so that's 100% if 2 bosses act. Plus they do it on, plus multiply that by 2 again, because the bosses will have back-to-back-to-back turns, because they're there for. So the faster the bosses are, the easier Kilgar is. Only downside is be aware of like FR abilities from bosses that have guaranteed hits that can insta-kill Kilgar. If not, then he survives, and then you just bring what's it called? An LD call that heals himself. Or just bring what's his name? Alexander Summon. But yeah, Kilgar can solo a lot of the Shinryu quests. It's basically this auto farm.
But, nice.
Yeah.
I wish I invested in him. Like I said, I went for Cater right before him.
Yeah. See, the downside is though, Cater and Kilgore do very similar things. Differences. One of them is range, one of them is melee. The Cater's fight sucked. Kilgore's fight was easier. Cater's fight just was stupid because of 6-man fight, and I didn't like that.
That's what I heard from people that didn't have Cater. They just said it's awful, Zodi, and I said I could imagine. 'Cause they did that even with Yuri's fight. They made it BS if you didn't have the unit. But no, that's just I pulled for her because I liked her. It was just more like I would have went for Kilgar. Just limited resources, limited pulls.
Yeah. I mean, I've said this before, but I'm pulling for every single new character's full kit, building them up, just so that if anyone wants to know how good they are and give my 2 cents on them and see if they're worth it or not, yeah, I'll tell you if they're good or not, or if they're lackluster, or if they fall short of anyone compared to in that month prior to them, or if anyone does their job better than them. So far, majority of all characters, and maybe Rex, have been good. Yeah. But the Shinri, let me just go through my majority of the colors, because we covered red, blue, and white. White, let me just filter out in white really quickly. Let me see. And a Crow stands out as a strong one. Lena would probably be a good carry. Vincent, maybe later on. Queen, maybe.
Did you ever get Vincent's kit
What?
out of curiosity? Did you ever get Vincent's kit out of curiosity?
Yeah, it is full kit. Deuce, yeah, that can work. Leo, maybe, depending, sometime later. Nabad, maybe so. I don't know. She's okay.
Deuce is good too. Same with Yuri.
So yeah, I can't really say much on Deuce and Queen because I never got their BTs and full kits. But yeah, Zodi, did you get their full kits?
Queen? No. Deuce? Yes.
Okay, so then you could say
Deuce,
something
I did.
on Queen. Not Queen, Deuce, more than I can.
She's like, I would say with her FR time, if you have her BT up, she's like I'll say, better version of how Hope used to do the Hope charging, because she'll do a counter. She'll do a follow-up attack after charging her gauge. You're not reliant on having a cane in the air or something like that to do damage while you're doing it. I don't recommend doing that to charge her gauge up to max, because that's a lot of wasted party damage. But she has that effect. They made her from one of the worst units in the game to one of the best supports, in my opinion. I don't remember the exact numbers on her FR time, as for HP damage up, but I want to say it's around 40.
40% each one. By the way, thank you for the raid, Chris.
But my overall opinion about her is she's a very solid support. Do I think she's absolutely necessary? No, but she pairs well with Astos. Like I said earlier, she helps them get to those high numbers really, really quickly.
Yeah, she's magic. She has overhead buff.
She has overhead buff. A lot of stacked, effects attached to her LD buff, her note buff, her BT. She's an overall solid aura bot that can also do decent damage.
Yeah.
Compared to a lot of the prior ones where it would be balanced out, they wouldn't do as much damage. She doesn't have that drawback. So I think she's overall a good unit. That's my summary for her. I know that's a lot of ones I'm going to say, oh yeah, they're good. But no, I think she's solid. But as you said about Queen, I have no experience with Queen other than trying out a friend unit. And her EX gimmick eats into a lot of her BT time from my testing around with her, but that's my limited experience. I know a Queen fan would probably say, no, Zodi, you're wrong. She can do all this. And I wouldn't doubt that. It's just from my experience, I don't like the turn hog aspect of her kit. But I think the rest of it looks good. But like I said, Deuce, good pickup. Queen, I'd say she's solid, but you probably could skip on her if you're not a fan of the character.
Okay. For yellow, you have Alka-Seltzer, which is good. He's very strong right now. Null is a good one. Who's strong in there. Besides that,
Oh, let's see. Lightning
Lightning
for Crystal
maybe,
Farming.
Quistis maybe.
I just wouldn't recommend pulling for Lightning, but she's good for the Crystal Farming. What's his name?
I think
Balthier
Nolan
at the
just
moment
like
still
self.
has a lot of damage.
I don't know about Baltier because I don't think his damage is going to be good enough to like one shot the bosses in one go. Because you really need a lot of HP dumps.
No, you do, but I've used him occasionally as one of the party slotted. Mine's been Lightning, Knoll, and him, or Charlotta, depending on if I need a charger.
Yeah, Yellow is kind of like one of those like kind of iffy colors right now because right now they only got like Alka-Seltzer to kind of build up their it's like that color is like repertoire in terms of being able to do them. In terms of green, you got Iris, which is going to carry you because of her BT. Rubicante can possibly solo some of them. Besides that, oh yeah, Sephiroth and Iris are probably going to be the ones that carry you in that color.
Yeah,
Cedrains maybe, yeah.
Yeah, you said Sephiroth. Garnet can be a slot in for an Aura bot, but at this point, her damage
Yeah.
isn't going to help you, like you said, with those needing to get it in quickly and get that. Renoa probably though. Renoa will
Later
probably
on,
be
yeah,
good.
Renoa later on.
Yeah, if they do a good job on a rework.
But yeah, that's basically the little shtick for like that recreation request thingy. But yeah, we could talk about what's it called, the new FR mechanic that came out recently, with with the start of the Golden Week.
Oh, do you
So
mean?
yeah,
Oh,
with
go
like
ahead.
the FR retention and all that stuff. So FR starting from like the last event with Elka Seltzer, and the renewal start dash. Every character starting from them, or going forward, all the featured characters will get FR passives level 50, which means that from 30 to 50, you need like I don't know 10,000 more character board points, more Force Stones, but don't worry, you get more Force Stones as compensation for like doing more for the Shinryu's now going forward. Um, you get in general just more damage if I'm going from 30 to 50, but the main thing is FR retention mechanic going forward, and that is for every 10 FR passives you have, your FR is going to be retained 3%. So for a maximum of 45% if all characters in your party are force passive 50, which I don't know if you've seen it or not, but for some reason, some characters, like for me, like I had it like maxed out and I had like 500% left over, and my character still did 500% FR damage. Did that roll for you?
He did not have that on my end, but that's crazy. The highest I've seen it retain after like an FR phase, for me anyways, was 200%. But 500%, that's pretty good.
Like did the damage like affect your overall damage like the FR after the FR ended? Like
Yes.
so okay, so then what? So then I wasn't going crazy. So yeah, that FR
No, you
damage
weren't.
retains over. Because I don't know. Initially, I thought, oh, I'm not hitting hard. It looks like that FR retention only applies once I start the FR back up again. But
Yeah, no,
yeah,
it does remain. Sometimes it will. I mean, not sometimes. It will remain afterwards.
okay, yeah,
A certain percentage amount. Like I said, it's some one time I had about 200. I want to say it was about 200%. And I didn't even hear about this update because I missed the POP when it came out. I just skimmed through some of the notes, and then when I seen that go live and noticed it was said still, like I said, 200%, I was like, did they do an update? And then I looked into it. I'm like, damn, it took them long enough to do something like this because it helps a lot of characters that are turn hogs.
yeah, and incentivizes like going from like full like full speed like gameplay to it doesn't like stop the fight to a standstill because some of the bosses like afterwards, like if you can one shot them at their far gauge or some of these annoying fights, then you pretty much are like out of luck and have to restart the fight because you couldn't finish it with all the FRs. Or you might have to like hold yourself back because of the FRs.
Yeah, no, that was a huge issue with a lot of the fights, before this. It's
Mm-hmm.
like you said, you get at a point or their FR gauge goes off, and guess what? You gotta wait 20 turns and you do no damage because you don't have the featured unit or the
Mm-hmm.
FR to turn it off.
Or you just like,
So,
or you couldn't fulfill the turn condition because you just didn't have. Because by the time your FR is ready to go up again, the turn requirement is over because some of the turn requirements are pretty strict. Like you only get 30 turns.
oh, there's that too, yes.
Yeah, but I don't know. What do you think of the starting like characters so far for like the have Force 50?
Oh, well, Zidane got me super pumped because I was looking forward to his FR because he's one of my favorites, Nine and Echoes of Time, which is Carlotta's game, are my
Mm-hmm.
favorite Final Fantasies, and the fact that they paired those two together, I was ecstatic. So I'm excited for him. I'm kind of bummed he's at the beginning of an era again because that keeps happening to poor Zidane, and every time that happens, he gets power crept like 2 events later. So I'm hoping they fix that. And then Laguna. Laguna's another one that I'm like, man, we got him. So I'm excited for him and to see what they did for him. Even I know it's unpopular with a lot of people, but I'm happy for Irvine too because I liked Irvine. Some people don't,
Yeah, the
but
main one
I
that
like the
kind of
trash.
stood out was Aerith. Did not
Oh, dude,
expect
is that?
Aerith, that literally came out today, to have Force
Oh, I did.
50.
I didn't know. I didn't know she was on. I didn't know she just got. I didn't know that.
Yeah, she has her, um, Jill, and who else was it? Rosa have a Start Dash banner that came out today that
I just
featured
thought that
them.
was a start dash. I
Yeah,
didn't know that they got their 50 today too.
yep, they got a level 50 because I was like, oh, they're featured, and then they posted a preview saying that these three characters will get Force 50. It's like, okay, everything's gonna be broken. Continuing on again.
I didn't know.
So yeah,
Okay,
Aerith is getting
I
the Tifa treatment
good
where
month.
she gets immediately the immediate buffs. So for anyone who on the global side that got Aerith FRMBT, well, she's gonna be from when she gets her FRMBT until even currently right now, she's still gonna be one of the best supports.
Oh yeah, that's right. Global just got her too.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, wow, man.
FF7
They're
getting
already at
all the
that point.
love.
Indeed, they are. I gotta go max her out while we're talking right now.
Yeah,
I
I thought
didn't
that
know
you
that
knew
was the
about
thing.
that.
No, no, I must have not have been paying it. I was just like, oh, they're doing a rerun probably for Golden Week, and then no, that's not. Nope, nope, I was wrong. Like, oh, that's an interesting banner. I'm like, too bad I don't have Jill Nabat's, BT, but I have everyone else on that banner. Or no, I don't have Roses either, but I didn't know that was the case.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Interesting. So I'd say the lineup so far is solid. Biases, personal biases aside, the Aerith getting it right from the get-go,
Mm-hmm.
nice.
You got Cloud, Lightning, Squall, Rosa, Aerith, Rosa, Jill, Alka-Seltzer, Lana Rain, Cloud Darkness, who also has FRBT but no rework. Um,
That's disgusting.
Everyone else like Neon is on there. Shulk. Uh, yeah. So far, those the only people, and then everyone else moving forward on the banners. Yeah. Force 50
Wow.
is very strong right now. Only downside is though, yeah, you if you don't haven't been saving like character bar points or been kind of stuck on character bar points and that's your bottleneck, well, this isn't going to help you too much.
No, absolutely not. If
So
they
yeah,
do the thing on global where they give out the points for certain events, I'd say prioritize those over the tickets.
Yeah.
Because I know Global does their Cactuar tokens a lot different than JP does. They have
Mm-hmm.
it. You can use your coins at any time, up to 40. As for JP, you have to use them, spend them within the month. JP gets a set amount of tickets. Global gets unlimited tickets. I'd say if they offer character board points, pump those into character board points if you need them.
Yeah.
Because that's what I've been doing on JP.
Yep.
Just rebuilding my stash.
I'm still capped at character board points, and this is the first time I've like dipped under like 950k.
Yeah, no,
But yeah, I shouldn't be going under too much. I can rebuild mine because I'm pretty much only going to be using like Aerith and like featured characters to kind of build them up. Only building up characters that full kits for.
same. It's a waste to do otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Before Shantoto, whoever the character was before Shantoto got the FR treatment. Let me look through the timeline. That's when I stopped using character board points on
Yeah.
characters, and I stopped caring about the extra little ticket you get from dragging them through their own Shinryu fight. It's not worth it. Don't fall for that trap. It's only 5k. You're spending way more resources for one pull for a character you might potentially not want anyways.
See, for me, I just did that for the extra ticket, and it was still worth it for me because I have
I know
the
for
extra
some
points
units it
for
is.
the extra points you like spend. But after
I mean,
that,
if I can drag them, I drag them, but most
yeah.
of the time I don't worry about it as much.
Oh yeah, there's one thing I forgot to mention was that as part of the Shinryu request thing from the last OP was that crystal ability um feature, which apparently you can only unlock if the entire crystal color is maxed out. So for example, you grab all the crystal passive abilities and all the passives, like stat passives for that color, and then you unlock the crystal abilities. So those like select abilities that have like a set amount of power and or like features. For anyone who like is confused, it's confusing and it is confusing the way I'm trying to explain it. But every character base you can basically equip two. I think it's two abilities. I don't know. I haven't seen anyone in practice use it yet because it's pretty like late game to get this. It's kind of like Ultimate Weapon 5. Basically, the sum of it is like you get these crystal abilities that are similar to like the crystal passives, to where they have upside and downside to them. You get like a set amount of like crystal power, and depending on which crystal ability you use, it consumes the amount of the crystal ability power. So if you have like, I don't know, 500 crystal power or something like that, ability 1 might use only 100 of it, so you can use it 5 times if you want to, but crystal ability 3 might use 400 out of the 500, so you can only use it once. So it's like stuff like that. But so far no one I've seen on any of the discords have completed the crystal ability shtick, because everyone's still kind of like doing every, like, I mean, for me, I'm doing every single other color, like all the popular ones, like blue and like red, and kind of like rotating between the two because of which ones I want to use and get the right passives or whatnot. But yeah, haven't seen anyone like focus on one color yet and complete it yet. But I think at this point, someone might have finished it.
Mm.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, no, I do. I've seen some pictures floating around, but no, I think somebody, what was it, 6 months to complete or some large amount of time
Yeah, it's a
without
long
willing the
what's it
extra point.
called? It's a long end game goal. Like right now, I only have
Yes.
44 out of 90 on blue, and there's no real way to speed this up without buying some of the gem packages that give you the equivalent of like wild board points. Yeah, and even then, you don't get that much out of
Yeah.
these like those packages. You only get like 1,000 out of like or 2,000, which
I've
is
just
not
been
enough.
taking the slow way of doing it myself.
Yeah. It's like ultimate weapons essentially. Like, sorry for repeating that. It's the best way to put it. Like, you're not gonna get ultimate weapon 5 like on day 1 or anything. It's gonna take a while. Same thing with this. It's gonna be a long, long journey to complete every single color for this, and they slowly, like over like every couple of months, like 2 months or so, give us like checkerboard panels that give us wild boar points as well for them. And I wouldn't put against them to like eventually just give us what is it? Uh, what is it? Mock pass, like another mock pass perk where like it gives us more viable points for it.
You would have thought they would have did something like that at this point, but so far, like you said, they haven't done that. I think
Yeah,
if they
I think they might do it like soon.
for the game,
Now that
yeah.
Ultima weapons have been kind of like some people actually almost started to be done with them.
No, I could imagine, especially if they're getting the monthly mock pass. Yeah, I haven't done that in a hot second, so
Yeah,
my ultimate weapons have been stuck at whatever levels they've been at for the last year.
I'm pretty much almost done with all of them. For all the main ones, the only ones I haven't finished is that are 5 out of 5 is gun and rip, or actually no rip, the orbital weapon and the gun. Gun is probably next. I just finished bow, so after that, I don't know. The orbital weapon probably might be next, and then rip if would be the very last one. But yeah,
Understandable. There's not very many web units. We only have three, if
3,
memory
yeah,
serves correctly.
it's not much
Yeah,
anyway.
all I
But
completed was gun, spear.
yeah, these are like crystal ability things. The most I can say
Yeah,
about them is come back and like we'll talk about this again in a couple of months once we're all finished with it, because it's gonna take a while to get this done. To be realistic, but the actual passives itself, I can talk about some of these because it's kind of complicated in terms of which ones you want to pick, because you actually have to think this through ahead of time, because some, I mean, eventually you're going to get all the passive anyway, but going for some of them first from the get-go is you should start to plan this out when it's like, I don't know, a month out, so that you know which colors you want to go for. I mean, go for like your stronger colors, so they make them stronger. Some people say go for the stats rise because the stats apply to all those color characters no matter what. Let me see the passive specifically. Yeah, some of them like straight up give you like a golden buff that give you brave regen, attack, and max brave. Oh no, not a max brave, but attack and brave and HP regen for the entire fight. That one's good. It has like literally no downside other than it takes up a buff slot. Some of them are good, like if you get free turn, you get like an extra brave attack on each of your brave attacks. Some of them just give you straight up just more HP cap up, but the downside is you take more brave and HP damage, which isn't bad. Yeah, there's like a full list of this that thankfully Rem and I think someone else made for this, so this is gonna come out eventually. I think by the time when it gets closer, you guys can like skim through this and figure out which ones you want to go for, and someone will probably on global will kind of put like a tier list of which passives you should be going for. But yeah, it's not as important as you would think it is, but it's good, but not as, but it's like a side perk that's like helpful. It's not gonna make or break your teams.
no, no, it won't.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I have not been able to complete any of the white crystals. That's the only one I've struggled with
Yeah,
because of the units I currently have. But I really want to get some stat boost for a lot of those characters, but I'm missing out. crucial DPS. But like you said, it's not going to make or break being able to bring any of those units to the fights yet. They haven't done anything to restrict us on like stats. You can still bring your Enacro and not worry too much about her, missing
Yeah.
out on any extra attack or max brave at the moment. It's not going to affect her.
Yeah, when you go through that list, there's some passives that are really pretty restrictive, like your buffs, and like you have a less chance of receiving debuffs, but your buffs that you grant yourself like decrease one more turn extra, so they go down by 2 turns, which is not that good. Or some of them
Especially for
like
Weiss.
you have 2 less LD usages, but in exchange you have I forgot what the upside is, but yeah, I think your LDs are stronger, stuff like that.
Yeah, they had one
So
where you have 2 less skills, but your EX has a 20% chance of charging, so sort of like an Enacro effect.
yeah, I think that one's kind of fine now because our characters are so much stronger.
Yeah, no, especially, I mean, the only character it's going to affect really negatively doesn't even have any good kit at the moment, and that would be like Palom. Nobody's running Palom right now,
Or
so
just FR charges mainly because that's 2 less FR like spammable skills you can use.
true.
But in that case, you just don't put. In that case, you just don't equip that skill for that color specifically, like red. You won't like give that passive or ability for red color crystal like color characters. Just don't. Yeah, you can pick and choose which ones. Like you can mix match colors in your
And you
team
can,
and whatnot later on once
yeah,
like for regulation reuse.
you can also unequip them at will, because I know a
Yeah.
lot of people be like, oh no, are they like spheres? They are, but
No.
you can unequip them at will. What I mean is, to
Yeah,
give a power boost.
they're like artifact passives. You can equip them and equip them. You can only have 3 maximum of them, but yeah, just you're eventually gonna have all of them. It's just that which one you want to go for first is up to you. But yeah, after that, just JP. The only thing that's like kind of bad for like DFFOO at the moment is just the character choices lately. I don't know. Some of them have been kind of weird. I mean, I'm kind of glad they chose a game like FF11 over like everything prior up to like FF7 to FF1. Even though FF1 hasn't really been shown or getting any love or support. 14 is still
No,
down in the dumps.
yes,
15's
you
been
compare.
over like supported. We won't even talk about tactics at this point because it's been a meme for like forever.
Yeah, no, that's true. Tactics hasn't even gotten enough R. Like I'll say as much as I want, which is true. Yuri hasn't even gotten anyone else from his game, but he
Crystal
at least has
Chronicles
enough
at
R.
least, yeah, Crystal
He
Chronicles
at
at
least has
least
enough
been
R.
touched. Tactics in
Eh,
14 hasn't been touched at all.
not a single Crystal Bearers character has enough R at the moment, which is interesting. They're the most represented group of the Crystal Chronicles, and yet, ironically, everyone except that group, the one that makes the majority, the one that makes them bigger than Tactics, doesn't have a single FR for some reason. So it's weird how the devs approach a lot of these who gets an FR when, and considering like how many characters would you say we have left on FRs at this point?
Way too
It's still a
many.
huge amount. Yeah, they're gonna spam a lot from the same series at once.
Yep.
Like especially 14, especially 14.
I mean, we'll cross that bridge. I mean, we'll cross that bridge when you get there for 14 because it's one of those things of I'll believe it when I see it if they ever touch
Yeah,
14.
no, I feel you. Hey, like I said, I feel you when it comes to like Yuri's game. It's just like, are they gonna add anyone else from this game? Nope. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. It's like we'll
So
get there when we get there. Hopefully we don't
exact.
see another run of like weird relatives of what's his name? Fuck, forgot. I'm blinking.
Several?
No, not him.
Not him.
Um
Weird relatives.
From FF5. Shit, not
Bart.
Dorgan.
Bart.
Bart's his family, extended family. We don't
Yes.
need another, what's it called?
There's only one more Warrior of Light left, though, from
We
that
don't
group.
we don't need Dorgan's like posse or whatever. We don't need another weird FF12 character like like Lude. We don't need any more FF Type Zero
I,
characters. There's too many.
but, I, but I like Liud.
The only character
Jokes.
that I say from 15 is fine that I'm okay with. If we get him as Ignis, beyond that, stop giving us 15 characters. As much as I like 15, 15 is kind of like, cool, done. Okay, stop giving us them.
I mean, they give us a lot of 7 characters, though. Just saying, nudge, nudge.
We got too many 4 characters as well. I'm sorry, 40. Yeah, we have too many 4
Hey,
FF4
hey,
characters.
hey, I like FF4 as well. That was one of my firsts.
There's way too many of them. God damn it. There's like,
Hey, it's a huge cast. It has one of the biggest playable
yeah,
casts
14
of the
has a
series.
huge cast, but they haven't touched it at all.
And I agree. I agree with you. They gotta do a better job at spacing out some of these characters from same, series. So you're not gonna get any arguments from me. We do need more variety.
Yeah, we don't need
yeah,
the
we
janitor from Type Zero. We don't need like that some random other like Soldier B or random villains from Type Zero at all. We have the entire class. Who else do we need? No, that's a rhetorical question. We don't need any more. Fucking stop with them.
I mean, they must make some amount of money if they keep adding them. Just saying. Although
Yeah.
the last Type Zero character added was Kurosami, and it's been quite a long time ago.
But we're
Or
talking.
was it Kurosami? Was it Queen? I don't remember who came first.
I don't know. All I know is that Type Zero has been like updated too many times. Queen, Cater, Ace, Kurosame, too many FR and BTs for a cast of characters. There's too many.
I know. I understand. Yeah, no, they definitely need to go, okay, 14 exists. Here you guys go. Okay, Tactics exists. Here you go. Okay, Zodi, you can shut up about Yuri's game. Here,
Hold
have
on,
another
no,
character.
hold on. They have too many FRs. They have Sice, Queen, Kurosame, Machina, Deuce, 7, Cater, Ace, Rem. Way too many.
So wait, is it like 9 the only character that doesn't have like a FR at the moment, or is there a
9.
couple others?
Tactics doesn't have a
Snake.
single one. 14 doesn't have a single one.
Oh, I meant 9 the character, but yeah, 9.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have 94 characters.
No.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. We don't even have Amaron. We don't even have Garland.
That's.
Mikoto.
Oh,
we don't have.
you said
Mai.
9 or you just meant 10?
9. Well, 9. Oh, 10 needs a couple more too, but
Okay, 9.
we're
10 I
not
can
gonna-
agree. I'd be fine with. As long as I don't
what's
give
wrong with
us.
9? What's wrong with 9?
They have. Okay, maybe so. They have. Like they have. I'm fine with them having 5 FR and PT characters. But spread the love more. There's too many of them.
Oh no! I agree. I agree. Like I said, you're not getting arguments for me. Why not give us Brandalus, or however his name's said, from World of Final Fantasy? Why don't we have him, guys? Why don't we have Delita? Everyone wants Delita. Why don't we have these characters? Nah. Devs are just like, nah. Here you go. Have Bart's extended family. Here you go. Have Braska. I know I'm gonna make Braska fans upset. Here, have Braska.
No one I've talked to likes Braska.
Interesting. Well, I'm not a real big fan of the guy myself, but
Fucking
interesting.
7 has 10 FRBT characters. It's gonna be,
Yeah,
and that's gonna
because-
be 11 soon with Kadaj.
Oh boy, yeah. Well, FF7's the moneymaker, don't you know?
Yeah,
Like I
I don't
said,
blame
I like-
them because
I mean, if it keeps the game up,
keeps the game afloat. Yeah, I guess so. Better than one of the other games that I played that I spent quite a lot of money on that is gonna shut down because the devs were a piece of shit. But that's another story for another day.
I think I know which game you're talking about, but I don't remember its name. But I think I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
but it's
Did it
better-
suddenly close down a month
It's
ago?
better forgotten. Well, no, they're closing in June, but it's better to be left forgotten.
Yeah, that's
But
unfortunate.
yeah, I don't know. There's nothing. I don't know. I got nothing else. I'm like winded from talking about this.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Oh, I mean, they gotta shake things up. I agree. They gotta shake things up roster wise, weapon wise.
Yeah,
I think they're taking a step in the right direction. I hope it's not too late.
I don't know. There's like a side. It's like a if there's like an upward graph of like if in terms of like it towards the top is like fake character like player favorability and whatnot. I'm saying that we're just going to like sidebar, like we're going horizontal. We're not going vertical. We're going horizontal, slowly down, like downward, like slope.
Yeah, no, I definitely see that. I mean, there's only so many fan favorites you can give weapons to,
There's so
but
many. There's only so many side characters that no one gives a shit about that no one knows about that are getting added to the game. Like realistically, no, I have no idea who the hell El Caselcha was, and I don't even know how to say his name. The
I
first
don't
thing
either.
and then it's like not good if like most majority of people that we knew straight up just asked like the one or two FF11 people that play the game, like who the hell is this character?
I had people message me, "Is he a Crystal Chronicles character?" I said, "No."
Hank, who is this character?
I said he looks cool, but no, he's not a Crystal Chronicles character.
Hank, why does this guy look like Astos?
He looks like a Chocobo series antagonist named Raffaello, kind of. He reminds me, he gives me vibes of him. But
It's cool
when
that
are we gonna get Chocobo dungeon characters? But what were you gonna say? Go ahead.
anything about that. It's like, oh,
Hey, I'd be happy. I'd be happy. I'm the one who likes all the weird niche Final Fantasy games on accident. That's
yeah, I
what I
know
grew
for
up
sure we said it before, but yeah, the devs like comment on why we can have like FF14 or FF Tactics characters was stupid as shit. Oh, their devs are busy. We need to get them to make the models. Oh, we need them. Oh, they're busy with their MMO. It's like, bitch, that's a bad excuse. You know for sure that you can. That you just need them to give approval on which characters they're allowed that you guys are allowed to make. If if it's not in the same parent company, there's conflictions. Well, then just be straight with the audience and say that FF14 is not in the works at the moment because just say that because it's conflicting. We need like the approval process long. Just say that instead of just BS saying, oh, the devs at 14 need to make it for us.
Yeah, no, that
Does not sound
that happened.
that is just like in that case that's gonna be like, oh, we're never gonna get 14 like FF Force Weapon or
The whole
BT.
fact something like that can happen. Yeah, it's bizarre that a company like Square Enix allows, well, I know it's technically made by Team Ninja.
Yeah, it's like
but
so many
they
branches
allow-
of it that are like not connected to each other.
Yeah, no, you would think for a celebration of the series they'd have all these rights settled and worked
They'd have
out
already
before
set,
adding these
yeah,
characters.
they've already like approved characters and whatnot. They don't have to go through this like these hoops and hurdles to be able to get them. Instead, they're stuck with Dorgan's uncle.
Yeah, I mean the fact that they can make up move sets on the flies for characters that have, I'm not saying their games are shallow, I'm saying at the time, or maybe their mechanics didn't offer as many unique attacks. They can make up moves for Rex on the fly and give it in his kit. I don't see why they can't do it for like a tactics character who might have they have jobs, so I don't know why they can't just pull skills out of their job class, the different job classes they
Or
have,
even
and just assign them to them.
Yeah, just that comment saying that FF Tactics they need to like they're saying that oh the devs are busy. It's like okay, what the hell has Tactics devs been doing? I'm pretty sure like some of them are like moved on to different stuff, and I'm pretty sure none of the devs are left or dead or sick or something like that. That's probably just very dark version of saying that, but
Yeah, just
like
visions.
Yeah, do something like that. Give
I
us
don't know why
Orlando,
that's
just
so
like
hard. Yeah, he already has a kit more of the vision. Just adopt that and make a depot version. Easy.
Give DFFOO Orlando at this point. Just anyone, at this point, give him any tactics character. I haven't played the game, but I know the hype around it.
Yeah.
It's just
No tactics. give me another character from Yuri's game. I will keep saying it.
Yeah. All
Please.
right. But yeah, on
Give
that
me
note, do you have anything else you want to say, Zodi?
no. I think we pretty much you know, covered everything to do with DFFOO. I hope. I don't want to be talking in circles, but I hope they make some different improvements. I'm kind of excited to see where these new changes, gameplay wise, will take us.
Yeah.
I don't know, just how I guess that's the kids say these days, and I know saying that I say that as a joke. People say, "Oh, you sound old saying that, Zodi." It's a joke, but it's a kid say these days. Copium. That I'm in copium mode. I'm just hoping that we see some good improvements.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, on that note, thank you guys for watching and listening. Chris, thank you for the raid. Next week we're gonna have a special guest. You could probably guess who it might be, and I'm gonna see if we can get some other people to give us like point of views on stuff. But I don't know. Next week is gonna be comparing, or basically just like getting more point of views from like, because me and Zodi played JP version. We're gonna get some global players on the show to talk about like their point of views and like their perspectives on it from like global perspective onto JP perspective and like comparisons and what they think about it. And who knows, I might get another solo episode with like 40 when we just like where we did a couple of times, like one time where we just like sat there and shoot the shit for like an hour. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. And Zodi, say bye.
Hi, thanks for watching.
Yep. See you guys next time.